Hello friends and welcome to Figure Study, where we appreciate the form in Transformers, and today taking a look at Transformers Prime First Edition Bulkhead, because the non-First Edition Bulkhead is vastly inferior from what I've seen. I mean, I'll admit I don't own the other version of Bulkhead, but this version is amazing. Spoilers, I guess. So yeah, I'm going to get this out of the way right now before I forget. Do the little sizey thing here. You can see he is a pretty decently sized SUV type truck thingy. Kinda tiny, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, considering he's actually meant to be bigger than a deluxe, but he's, he actually compacts really well, which I'm sure if you've seen anything else on this guy before, you are already aware of that. But yeah, decent size. Now, I like the look of this. It's like this sort of almost like a concept car kind of style in the way that it's like semi-futuristic, but not quite. Sort of like looks like a real thing, but not quite. Yeah, I mean, the overall shape of the vehicle I think is good. He does that thing that I hate, where it's like the clear plastic in the front and the sides, but not the rest of the way around. And honestly, this doesn't need to be clear because you don't see anything worthwhile. There's no reason for this windshield to be translucent plastic. None. And on top of that, there's actually a paint defect on mine, where you see there's like this nice green, like darker green trim along the side here. On this side, one of the doors doesn't have it, which is disappointing, but whatever. I also think if this is supposed to be a gas cap, I think he actually has a gas cap on both sides, which is weird. But other than those issues, some nice color on this thing. I do wish that the wheels had silver in the rims, because we all know how I feel about that, if you've seen any of these videos before anyway. But I have to admit, what is here is nice. I mean, there's like this nice silver for the sort of footstep here, and this darker green does kind of help just differentiate this other bit a lot better. Silver for the window, I don't know. I feel like if they had made the other windows silver would have been better to kind of match, but whatever. Silver for the roll bar on top, which is also nice, just get that extra little bit of detail. The back, surprisingly detailed. A little bit of black for the bumper, and then some nice red for the taillights, a little bit of silver up there, and this weird kind of goldish color that you don't see anywhere else in vehicle mode. I don't really know why that had to be semi-gold, but whatever. I also like how in the back these kind of almost look like exhaust pipes, so they do a pretty good job of kind of tucking away the robot in there, mostly. And here you can see there's some of that gold, same gold color there. The front also, I like how they've got the black for the bumper, which kind of ties into the back, and then the silver for the grille on the front, and then the headlights, they did a good job of kind of making those pop out with like the silver and then the yellow in front of it. Another disappointing thing is I'm not sure if this is a stress thing or what, but like the plastic is slightly discolored here on my figure, which is a shame, but hey, not much I can do about it. So yeah, I mean, some nice color on this guy. He does kind of fall apart a little bit if you look at him like from dead on in the front in vehicle mode, just because there's so much that they had to kind of compact into this. But they do overall a really good job. Like from the side, it looks great. And I do really like this kind of SUV design that they have going here. I just wish that they had painted this door to match this one. And I don't like the pointlessly translucent windshield, but hey, it is what it is. So yeah, Bulkhead's vehicle mode, pretty cool. Pretty cool. The the green, very nice. The slightly discolored green up top there is a little bit of a standout, but yeah, good colors. Overall, good paint. Kind of wish it had paint in a few more places, but then is there ever a Hasbro figure that doesn't have that issue? And now onto his robot mode, which is honestly super impressive. Wow, do I ever appreciate what Bulkhead does. It's kind of miraculous just how he goes from like this tiny little SUV thing to this giant, well, not giant, but this very large, bulky robot. I know, Bulkhead, bulky. But for size comparison, I mean, come on. In truck mode, he was shorter than Samus, and now he's like twice as big. It's just amazing what they were able to do here. And I know I'm not the only one who said this, but really, it is amazing how they were able to just beef up everything, make everything kind of expand and fold out to create like a much larger looking form. It's just really, really impressive to me. Even from, from the back, he actually cleans up pretty nice. There's, yeah, they totally cheat. Like, this is supposed to be the back of the vehicle, and the back of the vehicle is actually on his shoulders. But all things considered, they did a really impressive job with this. And now here, he is a bit more than just a bunch of green. There's this sort of gold-ish tan plastic that you see in the arms, the fists, and the groin area. Not a lot of this light gray that makes up the knee pads, which is kind of strange. Like, you see a little bit of it up in here in the little mechanisms inside the sides of the vehicle mode. But yeah, a little standoutish, but not a huge deal. I also think it's great they actually cheated a little bit for the grille of the car, which is actually hiding... Whoops. That's what I get for trying to do this with one hand. They actually hid the grille of the car in here. But, sometimes you gotta cheat, because reality is a thing, which is disappointing, I know. But I am just really love what they did with this figure, and yeah, his proportions are a little weird. He's got like these tiny little legs, these big arms, giant torso, but like, that's how Bulkhead is supposed to look, so I don't really have an issue with that. It looks really great. I love how the front of the car and the sides of the car kind of come up and wrap around his torso to make this bulkier looking chest. And like the headlights kind of move and shift so that you can kind of see them through the windows on the sides, which, okay, I will admit, having the windows be see-through on the sides makes sense when you consider this. No sense in vehicle mode, but it does make sense in robot mode. And yeah, there's just so much to him that's really, really neat. I mean, there's like a lot of little details that just change because he's in robot mode. There's some details that are revealed, like the bits on the legs, or the legs in their entirety, except for the wheels. It's all very nice looking stuff. And again, I love this just bulked out chest. The arms look really great. I love these kind of air intake things and how that kind of compresses down for transformation automatically. Very, very nice stuff. And he also does that cool thing where if you just transform his hands back, they kind of become his blasters, which is really neat. And he has a mace type weapon you can plug in there too. And like the shoulder bits look really nice. I actually really also enjoy how like you've got the flat half of the back of the vehicle, but when you transform him, this little dark like black piece kind of flips up to add a little bit more interest to the shape of the shoulder, which is very nice. And of course you also have that silver that shows up, which is also very nice. There's just a lot of very nice on this guy. The head is Bulkhead, and it looks great. I mean, it's freaking Bulkhead. What else can I say? It looks great. My only real gripe is they have this like light piping bit here, but he doesn't actually light pipe because his eyes are painted, as is the rest of his face. But, whatever. You don't really notice it from the front anyway. Yeah, just like, I've always enjoyed Bulkhead's look in Prime, which incidentally, if you haven't seen Prime, it's actually a really good show. Really enjoyable. Even if you ignore, you just have to ignore this slightly weird relationship thing between RC and Jack. But, no, Bulkhead is very cool. I am super in love with this figure. And from what I've seen of the other version, it's not terrible, but, like, this is so much better. And just, like, the way he transforms, just the amount of engineering that went into this is impressive on its own, but I love the silhouette of this. I love how it all compacts down. I even like his goofy little, like, tire wings on his back, which you have a little bit of say in how they are displayed. Like, you can have them straight back like that, or you can kind of angle them a little bit. There's like this extra joint here that you can just kind of fold them around, so you can tuck them away a little bit if you need to, say, fit them on a shelf or something like that. Then you've got that secondary joint too that you can kind of, I'm doing this off camera, I'm sorry. You can kind of play with that other joint too that's actually the transformation joint. So you've got options when it comes to how you want to deal with these things. Generally, if I have the room on the shelf, I don't mind just having them pointing out. But yeah, Bulkhead is so neat. He really is. It took a lot of work to track him down, because I didn't necessarily trust getting him on eBay, just because I felt like it'd be too easy for me to not get the first edition. Like, someone could potentially send me one that was like the non-first edition one, and I really wanted the first edition. So managed to luck out and find him on eHobby Base Shop, of all places. It's I think it's like either a Chinese or a Japanese Transformer online retailer that I've bought a few figures from them in the past. I can vouch for them. They've never steered me wrong before. It's just, there's always that little bit of uncertainty the first time you do it. But no, eHobby Base Shop, legitimate storefront. Bought from them before. Usually you can find stuff a little bit cheaper if you dig harder for like eBay and stuff like that. But, you always run that risk with eBay. So I was very glad I got my hands on him, because first edition Bulkhead is really nice. He and first edition RC were kind of my big, really want to get figures for the series, and I'm glad to say I was able to get both of them. And yeah, just super happy with that. Anyway, first edition Bulkhead is great. Like, great color, great, fantastic silhouette, fantastic engineering. If you can find him for a decent price, then, unless you hate the show and hate the character, I can't really think of a good reason to pass him up, because he is just fantastic. But yes, that has been my look at Transformers Prime First Edition Bulkhead. So cool. Thank you everybody for watching. As per usual, feel free to like, comment, subscribe. Any combination of those three would make me a happy Rob. And remember, art is more than meets the eye.